Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's dive into something we all dream about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Passive income.
Yeah.
And we're better to look for inspiration, schemes,
Yeah.
and maybe even some solid advice
Yeah.
than the wild world of Reddit. We're taking you straight to the heart of passive income,
Okay.
a gold mine of real people sharing their experiences,
Right.
the good, the bad, and the downright unbelievable.
I love it.
Buckle up because we're about to sift through the hype
Okay.
and uncover what it really takes to make money in your sleep.
Yeah.
Or at least while you're binge watching your favorite shows,
Right.
what can you actually sell online? Is anyone really making money from TikToks they posted months ago? And how do you avoid getting scammed along the way?
Important question.
Get this. One Redditor claims they're raking it in from TikToks even though they've stopped posting.
Oh, okay.
And another one boasts about a foolproof system.
Mm-hmm.
Make money while you sleep 100% legit.
Wow.
Your example, a homeless man receiving donations. I mean, it's funny, but also kind of sad.
It definitely highlights the fantasy, right, effortless income.
Right.
But here's the reality check.
Okay.
Passive rarely means do nothing.
Yeah.
There's almost always an investment involved, whether it's time, money, or a whole lot of creativity.
Exactly. But before we get too skeptical, let's jump into some specific side hustles people are actually trying.
Okay.
And you won't believe some of these.
Yeah.
One Redditor made $492.08 selling an advice-cased ebook on Gumroad. That's a platform where you can sell digital products directly to your audience.
Right, right.
Now, here's why this is interesting.
Okay.
They weren't out there doing any fancy marketing campaigns.
Yeah, right.
It seemed to gain traction organically, proving that if you create something valuable,
Mm-hmm.
even once,
Yeah.
it can generate income over time.
I like it.
They even mentioned someone offered to buy the rights to the book to market it themselves.
It's a great example of how niche expertise can be monetized.
Right.
People are hungry for knowledge, and digital products offer amazing scalability.
Yeah.
You create it once, and it can potentially sell forever.
Okay, hold on. We need to rewind for a second.
Okay.
For those unfamiliar with Gumroad, it's like setting up your own digital storefront.
Oh.
You upload your ebook, set a price,
Mm-hmm.
and boom, it's
Yeah.
out there for the world to purchase.
Right.
But there's a catch, and this is where the passive part gets tricky.
Okay.
You need people to find it, right?
Exactly. And that's where SEO comes in, search engine optimization.
SEO?
It's basically making sure your ebook pops up when someone searches for related topics online.
Right.
Think of it like this. You've got this awesome product on display, but it's tucked away on a dusty shelf in the back of the store.
Yeah.
SEO is like putting a giant flashing neon sign above it,
Okay.
making sure people stumble upon it.
Okay. That makes so much more sense. So it's not enough to just create something. You need to make sure people can actually find it in the vast sea of the internet.
100%.
Now, let's talk about something a little more glamorous.
Okay. Yeah.
Another Redditor is making bank selling abstract art,
Really?
raking in anywhere from $400 to $8,000 per piece.
Wow.
That's insane.
It's a fantastic example of turning a passion into profit.
Yeah.
But let's be real, talent alone isn't enough, right? This is where marketing, branding, and finding the right platforms to showcase your work become crucial.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of hustle to make a creative side hustle truly profitable.
It definitely sounds like you need a solid strategy, especially in a field as competitive as art.
Oh, yeah.
You're not just competing with other artists, but with established galleries and online marketplaces.
For sure.
So we've talked about digital products and art. What about services? Because let's be honest, not all of us can write ebooks or paint masterpieces.
Right. Yeah.
One Redditor tapped into a completely different market. They're a professional auntie.
Okay, I have to admit, when I first read that, I was like, what in the world?
What?
But it's actually quite brilliant.
Yeah.
They're essentially a personal assistant running errands and helping people with everyday tasks.
Exactly. It's like they identified a need in their community. People are busier than ever. And sometimes you just need an extra pair of hands and maybe a little anti-wisdom to get things done.
That's it.
They turned that need into a service, and people are willing to pay for it.
It goes to show that sometimes the most lucrative side hustles are born out of everyday problems.
Yeah.
What I find fascinating about this example is it ties into a bigger trend, the rise of the gig economy.
Okay.
More and more people are seeking flexible, location-independent ways to earn income, and this Redditor found a unique niche within that space.
And the income potential in this world of professional aunties and personalized services,
Right.
well, it's not just spare change.
Right.
Another Redditor, a fine dining chef, is making a killing cooking for college students. We're talking $1,500 a weekend,
Wow. Talk about tapping into a niche market.
right?
It proves that even traditional skills can find new life in the gig economy. This chef saw an opportunity college students craving home-cooked meals, maybe a little tired of ramen noodles,
Right.
and turned it into a lucrative side hustle.
It's all about that supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
You find a gap in the market, you fill it, and you get paid.
That's it.
But I think it's important to acknowledge that not all service-based hustles are created equal. You mentioned location dependence earlier.
Absolutely. The professional auntie and the chef, their success relies on having a local clientele. It's something to keep in mind when you're brainstorming ideas.
Right.
Think about your location, the specific needs of your community, and how your skills could translate into a service people are actually willing to pay for.
Yeah, it's like that professional auntie. They saw a need, right?
Yeah,
Busy families, overloaded schedules, and they stepped in to fill that gap.
precisely. And it highlights something really crucial for anyone venturing into the world of side hustles and passive income.
Okay.
Due diligence.
Okay.
It's not just about finding a cool idea, it's about doing your homework. Research the market, understand the demand, and be realistic about the time and effort involved.
So it's like, don't just jump into the deep end without checking if there's any water in the pool.
Yep.
Because, let's be real, not everything that glitters on Reddit is gold.
True.
There's a dark side. We need to talk about the scams,
Oh, yeah.
the misleading promises,
Right.
the people lurking in your DMs with guaranteed get-rich-quick schemes.
And unfortunately, those shady characters thrive in the world of online business.
Yeah.
One Reddit post caught my eye, a warning that screamed, "Do not trust DMs about making money online."
Seriously.
It's a jungle out there, and it's easy to get swept up in the excitement, especially when someone's promising you the moon and stars.
Ooh, tell me more about those red flags waving in the digital wind. How can our listeners spot those scams before they get swept away by a tide of false promises?
First and foremost, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Be wary of those get-rich-quick schemes.
Right.
The ones that promise unrealistic returns with minimal effort. Yeah.
If someone's claiming you can make a fortune overnight by simply clicking a few buttons, run in the opposite direction.
It's like that old saying,
Yeah.
if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's probably trying to sell you something overpriced on the internet.
Exactly. Another red flag is a lack of transparency.
Right.
Legitimate businesses, even if they're not revealing their entire strategy, should be upfront about the work involved and the potential risks. If someone's being evasive about their methods or pressuring you to invest without providing clear information, that's a major red flag.
And you know what really grinds my gears?
But
Those messages that prey on people's insecurities,
right.
making them feel like they're missing out on some incredible secret.
Yeah.
It's all hype and manipulation.
You're absolutely right. It's about creating a sense of urgency.
Pushing you to make a decision without thinking it through.
Right.
And speaking of thinking things through,
Yeah.
that's where independent research becomes crucial.
Okay, so let's say our listeners have found a side hustle that piques their interest.
Okay.
What's the best way to research it beyond just reading Reddit threads? Where should they go for reliable information?
The beauty of the internet is it's a vast repository of information. If you know where to look,
Okay.
don't rely solely on testimonials or claims made within a specific platform. Branch out.
Okay.
Look for external reviews, check out industry forums,
Right, yeah.
and see what other people are saying, both good and bad, about the opportunity.
It's like getting a second or even a third opinion before you commit to something, right?
Yes.
You want a well-rounded perspective, not just the highlight reel.
Exactly. And remember, it's okay to be skeptical. Don't be afraid to ask questions, dig deeper, and if something feels off, trust your gut. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Okay, so we've talked about the good, the bad, and the scammy side of passive income. But let's get real for a moment.
Yeah.
A lot of people listening are probably thinking,
Yeah.
this all sounds great, but I have a full-time job, a family, a dog who likes to eat my slippers.
Right.
How am I supposed to find the time and energy for a side hustle?
It's a valid concern.
And it's a valid concern.
Right.
We can't all quit our jobs and become professional meme creators.
Right.
Though, wouldn't that be amazing?
That's why it's so crucial to choose a side hustle that aligns with your lifestyle, not against it.
Right.
And this is where a thread we saw on Reddit really resonated with me. A Redditor posted, "Side hustle passive income ideas for someone who works full-time." And what stood out was they were looking for options for their mom,
Well,
who was feeling overwhelmed and strapped for time. They specifically wanted something with a low time commitment that could potentially grow over time.
it's like they're trying to fit a side hustle into their life, not the other way around,
Yeah.
which makes total sense. Not everyone's goal is to become a full-time entrepreneur, right?
Right.
Some people just want a little extra income, a creative outlet,
Sure.
or maybe a way to explore a passion without quitting their day job.
Absolutely. And that's where this idea of passive income can be both appealing and misleading.
Yeah,
It's easy to get caught up in the fantasy of money flowing in effortlessly.
right.
But the reality is, it takes work. Even passive income streams require effort, especially in the beginning.
It's more like flexible income, right?
Yeah.
You're putting in the work up front,
Right.
building a foundation, and then potentially reaping the rewards over time. But it's not about setting it and forgetting it.
Exactly. And that brings us to a crucial point that often gets overlooked: mindset.
Hmm.
Success in the world of passive income or any type of entrepreneurial endeavor hinges on your mindset.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Break down this passive income mindset for us. What separates those who succeed from those who get stuck in a cycle of starting and stopping?
It's about embracing a few key principles. First, understand that passive rarely means instant. It often requires an upfront investment of time, effort, or resources to get things moving. You're building something sustainable, and that takes time.
It's like planting a garden. You need to cultivate the soil, sow the seeds, and nurture the plants before you can enjoy the harvest.
That's a great analogy. And building on that, the passive income mindset also involves embracing experimentation and learning from setbacks.
Okay.
Not every side hustle you try will be a home run.
Right.
Some might be total flops, and that's okay.
So it's less about avoiding failure and more about embracing it as part of the process.
Exactly. Every failure is a learning opportunity. It helps you refine your approach, identify what works and what doesn't. And that leads to the final and perhaps most crucial element of the passive income mindset: adaptability.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Tell me more about this adaptability factor.
The online world is constantly evolving. What works today might not work tomorrow. So you need to be willing to learn and adapt and pivot when necessary. Don't be afraid to experiment with new platforms, try different strategies, and adjust your course based on what the market is telling you.
So it's like being a chameleon, blending in with the ever-changing landscape of the internet.
Yes, stay curious, stay open to new information, and don't be afraid to change directions if you need to.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of passive income, Reddit edition, what's the key takeaway for our listeners? What's the one thing you want them to remember?
Instead of chasing someone else's success story, invest your time in understanding what truly excites you and aligns with your skills. That's where you'll find the most fulfilling and potentially lucrative path to passive income.
It's about finding your own unique path, right? Your own rhythm in this world of side hustles and online businesses.
Precisely. And remember, it's a journey, not a race. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. Experiment, learn, adapt, and most importantly, enjoy the process.
And on that note, we'll leave you to continue your passive income adventures. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the world of knowledge.